talk to us about we many of us will remember when we said the Internet of Everything. And I feel like there was a backlash on it because, oh, it's hype and it's this and that. And now you talk about birth certificate of mine, your shirt, or the birth certificate of food. First of all, I love the term birth certificate, but um, talk to me about why trillions and how far away is this? I mean, I get it, there's so much out there, but how far away are we talking is this?
Well, that's several very good questions all tied into one. So
Let's
maybe we
take
should
pick
start
one and we'll
off
go from
with,
there.
yeah. Why the heck should we do this? I think how long it will take is a really interesting question as well. And the answer is it's going to take a while, but the consequences will start to be felt like very soon in the next year or two, even though it's probably going to take 10 years to be fully utilized, to fully materialize and transition. It's a little bit like the move to e-commerce. Now, I remember a few years ago when I was at Qualcomm, we were talking about e-commerce and, do we really need to bother about this? It's like less than 1% of transactions are now going over e-commerce. Now, a few years later, what is it? It's somewhere between 10 and 20%. And I don't know the exact number. So, the vast majority of transactions are not going over e-commerce. But what has it done to our economy? There's massive retailers that have gone under. Their stock prices plunged through the floor because suddenly shareholders lost confidence in what they were going to do. New business models, subscription business models. I can now subscribe to probiotic pills because Amazon knows that I buy them all the time. So my point is, it's going to take probably a decade for the full IoT2, for us to actually get to an internet that's 100 times bigger. But I can tell you that in the next 2 years, fortunes will be made and lost by companies that either ignore it or do it. So that's kind of a little bit of fear and greed. You could lose your job if you're the chairman or the CEO, and you should be able to talk to your shareholders about what your strategy is to deal with this, because it's going to happen. But why should you care beyond keeping your job? What's actually the benefit, and what are the drivers for moving to IoT2? And it's many things. The thing that I love about IoT2 the most is I think there's a really great alignment of people, planet, and profit drivers, the triple bottom line. And what we see is if we just look at one aspect of this, the supply chain. Supply chains at the moment are mainly in the dark. Most goods that leave the shipping door, that's the last we've actually seen of them. And maybe we get the occasional letter home that says, here's where I am. But overall, most companies have no idea where their products are. Even before they certainly don't know them about where they are when the consumer buys them. And even before that, in their supply chains, it's very difficult to know. So how do we deal with the fact that we're in the dark? Well, we basically make twice as much product as we need to. And I really believe that that's the level of oversupply that we're seeing. Because we have no idea where stuff is, we make so much of it that it doesn't really matter. We kind of throw it out the door and we hope that enough size XL, size medium, size small gets in the right store so that when Joe Blogs or Mary Blogs goes in there to buy something, there's enough product out there. With IoT2, if all of those products are connected all of the time, I can probably make half the number of shirts, jackets, coats, trousers, car batteries, whatever it is, because I know where everything is. If I actually have visibility on the rack, on the shelf of a store, and I can see exactly what the inventory is, these are what economists call demand signals. And I can see the moment something's out of stock. That will allow me to regulate where I'm directing things. Look at what's been happening in the pandemic with PPEs, the masks, the face masks that suddenly we all decided we wanted to. We didn't have enough, but I think we all know that if you went to a hospital and went from one floor to the other, one floor would have a little cache of extra face masks. The others wouldn't have enough. If we actually knew where those were, you could smooth out and route and share the products so the shortages weren't there. So there's so many things we can do and supply chains are just one example of where visibility will allow me as a manufacturer to say, oh, I'm going to drastically cut the capital employed in inventory. I'm going to cut production of inventory by 50%. I'm going to start doing dynamic delivery. I've got 100,000 retail outlets. What if I could just visit the 50,000 that were out of stock and the other 50,000 I don't visit? That means I can have less trucks driving shorter distances, and I can have less of my capital tied up in inventory. If I do that, my balance sheet is going to look so much better. If I can eliminate out of stocks, I'm going to sell more of the inventory that I make. And by the way, my ESG, my environment, sustainability, governance report is going to look amazing. My carbon footprint is going to go way down. And I can start doing a better job. I'm going to have less wasted time, so my employees have better lives. I can produce a better quality product. So I think the future of connected products, just from the point of view of managing supply chains, is better. And then if you add on to that traceability, safety of products, being able to manage safety recalls more effectively and efficiently, there's so much room for improvement. Who knew? We start using the internet and the cloud and computing and apply that to all these problems that are afflicting us, then there's a lot of money to be made. There's a lot of environmental savings to be made. There's a lot better accountability. There's a lot better safety. So that's why I think we should want to do it. And some people are going to hear this message and do something, and others won't. And that's really the situation that we're in. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Mr. Beacon podcast here on YouTube. You can listen to the rest of this episode on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you enjoyed it, please like and share this video, and be sure to subscribe for more weekly videos. For more information about Wiliot and IoT Pixels, head on over to wiliot.com.